Hey everyone, and welcome to a quick beginner guide to Fractured Space. I created this video based on my initial experiences I had in the game, as well as to summarize some of the key points I had found on this amazing stat analysis done on the Steam community, which I've left a link to below. I'll go over a couple quick points and FYIs, as well as some game mechanics that maybe you are not aware of. I'm hoping this guide does help you understand the game to a better degree and helps improve your gameplay. Let's start off with a quick introduction to the game. The game itself plays just like a MOBA, but with spaceships. In the Conquest mode, you have two lanes to get into the enemy base, as well as Gamma, which pops up as a point to capture to receive a nice little buff. Gamma has 3 stages, respectively named Gamma 1, 2, and 3. Gamma 1 starts at 8 minutes into the match, Gamma 2 starts 6 minutes after you've captured Gamma 1, and Gamma 3 is also 6 minutes after you've captured Gamma 2. There will be a Gamma 4, 5, 6, and so on, but they'll just be the same as the Gamma 3 buff. Another note that's important, after successful capture of Gamma 3, you may jump into the enemy's base, or yours could be vulnerable if you did lose it. A massive tip here, Gamma 3 is extremely important. A good early game tip that I have is to go after the mines. They are extremely important early game. Being at a higher level than your enemy is insanely valuable early game. The second gameplay tip that I have is the most common mistake I've seen for new people do is rush the enemy base when you've captured 2 or 3 mines. Since the respawn is so short for the enemies, you're better off holding 2 mines in each lane and waiting for them to come back. If you win your first engagement and get a mine up on them, or maybe 2, probably just 1 mine up on them, you'll be at a higher level anyways, and they'll be feeding you levels leading into the first Gamma. One thing I noticed the tutorial did not mention is your ship does qualify for an upgrade after every level your team gains. On the top left of the screen, you'll notice that there is an available upgrade, and in order to apply it, you have to go into a forward station or home base. You don't get to choose your buff as you do when you hit levels 3, 6, and 9 though, it just offers a bit of a general upgrade. Another note, 9 is the highest level to get to. The next 2 tips I can offer are how to win fights. The first one is to focus fire. Your team will have a massive advantage if you focus fire on a single ship at a time to reduce their numbers as fast as possible. Secondly, prioritize their healer. If their healer does run off and hide, don't chase him though, he's effectively removed himself from being useful at that point. Combine the targeting of the healer as well as focus firing, and you will notice a drastic improvement in your team fights, especially with level number or even numbers, or if you are outnumbered. Some of you may not know how to tell the different size of ships or their roles apart very easily, so I created this quick image to help you identify what's what. To see the size of the ship, you look at the gears that shows you the size from 1 to 3 gears, with 3 being the largest and the most HP. To see the type of ship, look at the center picture and the color. Red is attack, blue is defense, and the yellow wrench is the support or healer ship. The next tip I have is with flak armor, since it's the simplest thing that I personally tend to screw up the most, though I don't know if it's going to be the same for you. To fix my mistakes, whenever I hear the sound of incoming missiles, I'll activate it, and then when the sound disappears, as in the missiles hit or got effectively destroyed, I'll turn it off again and wait for the sound to come on again. This is a bit micromanagey, but I found that not turning it off led me to either assuming it's on or overreacting and hitting the button twice by accident. So when I kind of micromanage it on and off to the sounds, I get a much better performance. So maybe you're already doing this, I'm not sure. I wanted to mention it because I found that this was better for me in the long run. Next up is more on the game mechanics side. The way that armor works in this game is that each ship has 6 sides of armor: top, bottom, left, right, front, back. Armor has its own HP value and will break off once it's hit that HP value. Most sides of armor are around 1000 HP, with the heavy ships being more in the 2000 range, though for a full list of values, please see the link in the description below. While armor is active on a ship, you will be doing 75% of your effective damage, with the exception of dots and AoE damage. Once the armor breaks off, which is shown just above the ship with a little pop-up indicating which plate you broke off, as you can see in the background here, you will be doing 200% damage to the ship. Broken armor is also displayed in game with fire. You'll see an enemy ship's side or top on fire, indicating that it has no armor on said side. Or you may see your own ship on fire, which means that part of your ship is missing armor as well. Armor will be restored if you heal up, either by a friendly, like a friendly healer, or by going to a forward station or a home base. Or if you stay out of combat for quite some time, it will heal up on its own. Just the armor though. The default rate is 120 seconds for this, so that's quite a while. Use this to your advantage by doing two main things. First of all, shoot the same side of an enemy if possible. Keep hitting his weak spots to do the most damage. Secondly, rotate your own ship and try to force your enemy to have to break new armor on your ship, reducing his damage output to your hull. The last thing I want to get into is weapon mechanics. Each gun in the game has a maximum range and an optimal range. To explain what optimal means, it simply means that you're doing 100% of your gun's effective damage from 0 kilometers up to your optimal range. From optimal to fall off though, there is a linear decrease in the damage output from 100% to anywhere from 0 to 50%, then doing no damage at the maximum range or further. Here's a quick graph highlighting what that looks like for a couple of key ships. All of these values can be located in the guide below. The tip to take away here is you want to keep your enemy within optimal range, especially if you're in a close range ship such as Brawler. You'll be much more effective than doing little amounts of damage at far range. That's going to wrap up my beginner's guide to the game. I hope that some of the things I talked about here help you understand the game a little bit better and translate into better gameplay experiences for you. Feel free to leave me any feedback or comments below. Toodles!